Hey everyone, this is Wesley Rodriguez, and I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about some of the observations that I made in my paper. So starting off with the Castells text, um, we looked at a few, or well, specifically four different movements. Um, Occupy Wall Street gained a relatively mainstream understanding, but never really garnered a critical mass of activism in the way that some of the other movements did, particularly the Icelandic kitchenware revolution. So in Occupy Wall Street, many people remain uninformed about the issues or were not able to see the economic disparity maybe as directly affecting them, whereas in Iceland, in the kitchenware revolution, um, basically the entire country reached critical mass, um, and partly due because of the homogenous nature of their society, a tightly knit society. They were able to make significant change in a relatively short period of time and held their public officials accountable for the injustice. Um, in the Arab Spring, we saw the emergence of social media as a tool to coordinate and create digital spaces which were decentralized and where activism took on a new form. This was kind of the first time we really saw this digital networked activism come into play in Tunisia and then in Egypt. Um, so these were movements where the goals were reached in the case of the kitchenware in Tunisia, and movements or places where the movements did not have as much success, like Occupy Wall Street, where it may have created a longer narrative, like an ongoing narrative, or created education or awareness about a topic, but um, didn't produce any measurable, instantaneous results, or even results in the duration of their protests, which are still ongoing in some respects. So the next section on Black Lives Matters and the Hong Kong Umbrella Revolution. The key differences I noticed between Black Lives Matter and the Hong Kong Umbrella Revolution were their use of social media and digital spaces. So BLM seeks to create awareness and organization through social media and Twitter in a lot of cases. So they organize through Twitter, it's decentralized, and it's also used as a tool of awareness. So if there's some injustice or something unfavorable happens, the hashtag, BLM is it's essentially like it's a bat signal. It's letting people know of a particular instance or many instances of injustice. In Hong Kong, social media was used a little bit differently. Based on the reading, it was more used as a coordination tool for to spread ideas through the movement and through to different activists, which were again decentralized like many of the other movements. But this was a way to just spread ideas how to subvert the physical resistance by police. So through the use of umbrellas or just simple things like lessons they learned about how to kind of counter the tear gas agent by not remaining calm, and just like lessons the participants in the movement that were able to teach each other through use of social media ways that the group as a whole could overcome some of these acts of physical resistance by the police. So the videos and articles, they tell us what the current state of resistance is, as it is kind of an evolution. So we see common threads in communication, there are tactics and basic demands for human rights, but the outcomes are largely different in each of the movements. Each movement is unique and has variable external forces pressing against them. So while they may have similar attempts to undo some social injustice, and they're using similar technologies or tools or social interactions or social media or the way that the movement kind of communicates to each other. The external forces pressing against them are the same, so the type of government or the body that they're opposing or the type of injustice that they're rallying against. And that was really pronounced in the videos and the articles, and we see a lot of the similarities, but we see the different end results of um, all those movements and actions by the activists. So one of the main points that I've taken away from all of the reading, particularly just the semester as a whole in general, is the propagation of ideas as important as important as the end result of creating instantaneous change. So what that means is, like, a movement may produce an instant change to its power structure, like in Tunisia or Iceland, where they actually created physical, observable change in their societies. But even a failed movement can have a lasting impact on the surrounding culture. So this is something that may manifest itself more slowly over time, but could have an equally as significant outcome, meaning that the spread of ideas are going to create a more informed, more educated community or culture, or group or body of people, and then that could produce different outcomes that might not be in the short term measurable, but in the long term could have a significant effect on the countries they're a part of. So thanks.